Some people have plenty of time to tinker around in their garden until their heart's content. But if that doesn't describe you, you are going to find this list super handy. We selected 10 easy-to-grow perennials and shrubs that you can plant next to your house and count on to always be in tip-top shape. All of them thrive in average garden soil, provided that it is well-drained and won't mind if you miss a day or two of watering. Let's take a closer look at each of these low-maintenance plants for your foundation garden bed. Number 1. Stonecrop. It's hard to imagine an easier perennial to grow than this little beauty. It forms a perfect dome-shaped mound that hugs the ground, reaching just 10 to 12 in tall in full bloom. That makes it a perfect choice for growing along the edge of your foundation bed in front of taller roses or evergreens. It will look its best if you grow it in full sun and drier soil with no extra fertilizer needed. Too much love makes sedum stems weaker, so just plant it and forget it. Bonus: light pink flowers which pollinators adore completely cover the succulent green foliage in late summer. Perennial in zones 3 to 9. Number 2. Hosta. If your foundation is shaded for part or much of the day, hostas are an easy solution. They come in many sizes, from the giant hosta to miniature varieties, and every other size in between. If you are growing a short row of annual flowers at the very front of your foundation bed, we can be planted right behind them. Since hostas return reliably every year, you can count on them to fill the beds up near your home with no fuss, no musk color and texture. Perennial in zones 3 to 9. Number 3. Catmint. If you take a drive around town in late spring, you may notice this perennial planted in large drifts. It looks like a blue cloud hugging the ground, and it's often grown in such large numbers because it is so carefree. Catmint thrives in full sun and no extra fertilizer is needed. Even if the soil tends to be a bit dry up near your home's foundation, this plant will thrive in the poor soil and reflected heat from your brick or siding. Cut it back once after its first round of blooms, and it will reward you with even more flowers throughout the summer. Perennial in zones 3 to 8. Number 4. Juniper. This native cultivar of our common juniper is one of the toughest and most low-maintenance evergreens you'll find. It spreads easily into a low, broad mound of emerald green foliage to fill the middle sections of your foundation bed. This juniper looks fantastic planted en masse in places where no maintenance is needed, with each plant growing 2 tall and 3 to 4 across. It easily withstands extreme cold. Hardy in zones 2 to 7. Number 5. Panicle Hydrangea. One of the easiest types of hydrangeas you can grow along your home's foundation is a Panicle Hydrangea. Some Panicle Hydrangea can grow upwards of 8 tall and are better positioned at the corner of your house. That makes it a better candidate for planting near windows where it won't block the view. Panicle hydrangeas do not require special soil to grow, except that it needs to be well drained. Choose a spot in full sun to part sun in the north and protect from afternoon sun in the south. Since panicle hydrangeas bloom on new wood, you can count on a reliable flowering performance every year. Hardy in zones 3 to 8. Number 6. Switchgrass. Ornamental grasses might not be the first plant you think of for foundation plantings, but they are actually a very practical choice. Switchgrass is a native plant that is extremely durable. It is also salt tolerant, so it is safe to plant near driveways and paths that are salted in winter. Its gray-green to steel blue foliage complements any neutral color of brick or siding. Other than cutting it down to the ground each spring, no other maintenance should be needed to keep it standing tall all season. Perennial in zones 4 to 9. Number 7. False cypress. If shade and deer are a challenge in your landscape, consider growing false cypress. These evergreen shrubs handle part shade well, and their fragrant foliage tends to be less appealing to deer. For a taller, narrower space, perhaps in a grouping at the corner of your house or as a privacy hedge, choose a pinpoint false cypress. They grow 15 to 20 tall with a 5 to 6 diameter at the base. Pinpoint grows in zones 5 to 7. Number 8. Rose of Sharon. If the idea of a low-maintenance plant that blooms for months sounds appealing, take a look at the chiffon and satin series of Rose of Sharon shrubs. Both grow quickly, don't require pruning, and produce few to no seeds, so they won't pop up elsewhere around the garden. Chiffon and satin varieties grow 8 to 12 tall and tend to be taller than they are wide. This makes them a good candidate for screening, hedging, or planting along a tall, blank wall where you could use a pop of color. The sunny side of your garage is the perfect place for a Rose of Sharon's, since it can handle the reflected heat. Hardy in zones 5 to 9. Number 9. Globe Arborvitae. If low-growing evergreens are what you need for under your front windowsills or a hedge bordering your entryway, consider this dwarf Globe Arborvitae. It's easy to grow in full sun to part sun, handles sandy or well-drained clay soil, and needs little to no pruning to keep its tidy shape. This ball-shaped evergreen shrub grows 1 to 2 tall, so it fits well in the middle layer of a foundation bed with shorter flowers planted in front and taller flowering shrubs like Panicle Hydrangea planted in back. Hardy in zones 3 to 7. Number 10. Ornamental Onion. Ever since Allium Millennium was showcased by the Perennial Plant Association as the Perennial Plant of the Year in 2018, this class of ornamental onions has skyrocketed in popularity. In mid to late summer, rosy purple, 2 globe-shaped flowers stand like lollipops on 15 to 20 tall stems above the low-growing foliage. You're likely to find pollinating bees and butterflies enjoying it on sunny days. This perennial thrives in full sun to part sun in zones 4 to 8 and requires no special treatment to thrive. Well, thanks for watching video from Catchy Garden. Don't forget to click like and subscribe button to always support our channel. You can also turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos from us. We'll see you in the next videos.